guys, welcome back to our next video here for our April promotion. This month we're going to have 50% off of our brand new eyeshadow palettes. It's the first time they've gone on sale since they launched. So we've got two palettes. This one is going to be your nude palette. Obviously it's going to have all of your nude tones in here. We've got a mix of mattes and shimmers. They're going to be some that are neutral, some that are cool undertones, some that are warm undertones. So these are going to be good for all of your clients. They're going to work for everybody. We also have this white palette in buff shades. These are going to be more of your romantic pinky nudes, mauves, and same thing, they're going to be a mix of mattes and shimmers. So with these guys, they do have a little bit of vitamin E in them, so they are nourishing for the eyelid. There's going to be 17 powder shades plus your built-in eyeshadow primer in the upper corner. These are also going to be named really cutesy, empowering, inspirational shade names like romantic, dynamic, loyal. So they're all just very, very thoughtfully named. We've also got some assets to go along with this. Like every promo we're doing this year, we've got a brand new Mirabella Minute postcard. These can be printed out and placed at all of your stations. You can put them in your waiting room, at the checkout counter, just everywhere as a reminder for both your stylists and your guests that we do have a promotion this month. We've also got our brief PK here for the eyeshadow palettes. It's just going to be focused on the eyeshadows. So this is also great to print out as a reminder to your stylists of what the pro tips are, if there are going to be special usage, key ingredients, and just a brief overview to really hone in on this specific sale. There's also a one-pager that's going to be a promotion for what the sale is, some brief usage tips, and those are all going to be available in the public Dropbox for this month's promotion. So make sure you are utilizing those assets, print them out, have them on hand, and I'll turn it over to Lynn for some application.
Good morning, guys. Happy spring. We have our lovely Candy here. Her and Sam are in charge of making all of these beautiful marketing assets that you guys have available to you. So please use them. They take great care of them. They're beautiful. They've really been focusing on helping you and getting those out to you so that you can use them and pass them along to your clients. So we're going to do kind of a basic eye look today. As Serynne mentioned, we do have our buff palette, which is what I'm going to be using. We do have a built-in eyeshadow primer here available in the palette. We also do have individual eyeshadow primers available as well. So if your clients run out of the eyeshadow primer within their palette, you can sell them the full size when they come back in, just because it is kind of a small pan. So I am going to start out with our wet dry eyeshadow brush. So I'm going to kind of give you this one. You can use wet or dry. Actually, you can use all of our brushes wet or dry because they are synthetic. All of our brushes are very high quality. They're an investment. So if you have clients that are used to buying, an e.l.f. or any kind of mass brand brush that is available on the market, you want to talk to them and let them know that our brushes are an investment. They're going to last a very long time. As long as they're taken care of properly, they're not going to start to shed. I like to relate brushes as like a mechanic. If you're getting your car worked on, you don't want them using faulty tools on your car. So brushes are an investment. They're going to help your clients recreate the look that you've given them. We're just going to do kind of a basic eye look today. I'm going to start out, like I said, with the eyeshadow primer. Now, these are all our testers. So, of course, we're just going to use them directly from the pan. But if you were using them on a client and using your testers from your display, I would recommend using the ghost method, which I can show you real quickly. You just take a tissue, you literally, my finger stuck, make it into a ghost, and then you rub it onto the particular shade you want to work with and work off of the tissue with your brush. So you're not double dipping and contaminating your products. So I just did a really light wash of that primer all over Candy's lid. Do both of them.
And a little goes a long way. You don't want a thick layer, otherwise it'll crease just by being too thick. So very light layer is all you need.
The eyeshadow primer is going to prevent creasing. It's going to intensify the pigments. It's going to absorb oil and keep the pigments in place as well. So that is the beauty of an eyeshadow primer. A lot of times I get asked about using concealer. If the concealer is oil-free, I would say that's okay. If the concealer that you're using has oil in it, it's going to tend to break up those colors. It might even break up the mascara and give them kind of that raccoon eyes. That's not really attractive. So making sure to use the proper tools. I'm going to apply an all over color. So we're going to use Romantic. I'm going to use our eyeshadow brush to apply that. And I'm just going to sweep this color from Candy's lash line all the way up to her eyebrow. Now she's already put mascara on for me. She's put a bit of eyeliner on as well. And she's also filled in her brows. So but typically those are things that you would do for your client as well. So I'm just going to sweep that color all over. This is a beautiful color that can be used on the eye as a base color, but it can also be used as a pretty color, like a highlight here on the cheekbones and upper cheekbones if you wanted to. Popping a little bit into the corner of the eye to bring out that and to add a little highlight. And then I also, which I'll probably go over after, is I like to put a little bit here on the corner of this brow because it creates a lift. Now, all of our shadows, like Serynne mentioned, have a mix of mattes and shimmers in them. And so there's a kind of a little, people either like shimmer or they don't. People either like mattes or they don't. It's just what I've kind of found. What I like to say is that our eyeshadows have enough shimmer in them to add light and have an anti-aging effect. They're not glitter. A lot of times people, people 50 and over especially don't like to wear glitter. I'm 50, glitter is my favorite color, but there are those people. Some people don't like to wear mattes because they think that they make the eyes look crepey or age the eye. Our eyeshadows are talc-free, so they're more of a buttery texture. Thank you, I used your word. And so they don't look creasy or crepey on the eyelid. And speaking of matte, I actually like to use a matte to create the crease. So I'm going to use Patient in her crease and create that. I like to create a crease up a little bit higher. I like to have my client open their eyes so where I can see where that crease would be, and the crease would be on the brow bone. So if you're not sure, make sure that your client's okay with you touching their face and you can kind of feel for it. And that's where we're going to pop in that matte shade. And the reason we do this is a lot of times people have hooded eyelids. So can you close your eye for me? If you put that crease right here, if she opens open, it's going to just kind of back fold in on itself. So you're going to miss it. So by putting it up a little higher, it lifts the eye as well. So I'm just going to put that right there and I'm just dashing it into place and then I'm going to sweep it.
And Lynn, I like that you're bracing your pinky on her cheek. So especially when her eyes are closed, if you touch the cheek first instead of just going right into the eyelid, it'll prevent them from blinking or jerking back.
And always asking again if it's okay to touch your client's face. There are some people that really are not okay with it. So we have our crease built in. I'm going to take Courageous, which is a deeper color, and just kind of intensify it a little bit. I'm going to pop that here into the corner, and I'm just going to use an upward motion. We're kind of creating an angle because we always want to work up and create a lift. I also like to give my client a mirror. In this case, I'm just going to hand her the palette so she can take a look before I start blending out to see if that's dark enough or if it's too dark. She's got to walk out of here with this, so we want to make sure that she's comfortable. You don't want to just go straight in and give somebody a smoky eye if they're asking for something on it, just to walk out and go to lunch. So what do you think? Good? All right, so then I'm going to take my Pro Blender brush. And I'm just going to use this. This is a clean, dry brush, so I'm just doing little circles in an upward motion. We're just blending those two colors in together. And that way we don't have any line. Now I do want to also use a little bit in her pupil area, so I'm going to use Warm Hearted. This is one of our foils. So it's really pretty if you use it wet. It's going to be even more what would you say?
Impactful
or chrome. It's going to create it to be more of a chrome color. So I'm just popping that there, and you can see how it does give a little bit of a brightness. One other tip I like to mention is I always like to do the eye look before I do foundation in case you have any fallout. An easy way to correct fallout is by using like a perfecting powder or a loose powder underneath and then just sweeping it away. Don't wipe it, it's gonna smear. For her lower lash line, I'm gonna use Courageous again, which is the color we used in the corner. I'm gonna use our angled brush. This is another one of my favorite tools. I actually have a lot of these. I use them for brows, I use them to apply lipstick. If you need a really precise line, these are going to be great. You can use a foiling technique where you load your brush, spray it with either our bulletproof or even just water, and it's going to turn our shadow into a cream, and you can use like a cream eyeliner, or it's going to also, if you wanted to use it on the upper lash line, create a foiling effect, and it's going to intensify the color as well.
You can also use that angled liner brush with the matte brown powders to create a brow powder. Since our quick brow has been discontinued, that is an easy way to transition your clients into a new product that is multi-purpose.
Yep. All right, so I'm just gonna pop a little bit more of a highlight up here underneath the brow, like I mentioned. And you can see how it, if you turn this way, how it really does catch that light. And I might just go ahead with our angled brush using our darker eyeshadow. And you just, if you are using eyeshadow for brow color, make sure to use a matte and not anything with shimmer. Because eyebrows don't typically shimmer, so.
Unless you're into that.
Yeah, well, that's okay too. I mean, for St. Patrick's Day, I had green eyebrows.
That's right.
So, you know, but just kind of filling in a little bit. And just going, Candy has great brows, so I'm just going along what she already has. And there we have it. And she did already have mascara and eyeliner on, so just wanted to mention that.
All right, that's all we got for you. So don't forget about these printable assets on our public Dropbox. We're also going to be sending out an email with the link. So check these out and let us know if you have any questions, and we'll see you next month.
Bye.
Bye.